What up, is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. When we hit 2K, we'll be giving a free signed DeAndre Swift jersey to one of you subscribers. That's all you have to do. Just be a subscriber. We're going to go through some playoff football. This is probably one of the greatest playoff football weekends as a of course I'm a Viking fan. Not having my team in it, this is like the best situation you could have. I think all games ended on the last play of the games. But we're going to go through some fantasy implications of some of these things versus, I guess you would say, just this general overview of the games. Because we got Gabriel Davis to talk about, we got Cam Akers to talk about. We have some situations that are starting to develop, and we're going to have to go through them here. So we're going to just start off right off the bat with the Rams offense. We have two things. One, we have Cooper Kupp, and then we have this discussion of Cam Akers. Cam Akers, I think, is going to be an RB2 next year. He looks decent. He doesn't look amazing. He doesn't look bad. And I think I see there's Cam Akers kind of truthers, and then there's the Cam Akers haters. And there seems to be no in-between, but there has to be an in-between. I don't think he looks absolutely amazing, but he is still 6 months at post-Achilles injury, and he doesn't look absolutely horrible. Yes, he had 2 yards per carry. He did have 2 fumbles, but it's against the Tampa Bay defense, who is a really good rush defense. Vita Vea is a monster in the middle there, and so the Tampa Bay's defense just showed that they can pretty much stop any running back they want, and they've done that pretty much the last couple of years. So I think Cam Akers, again, RB2. We're going to be going through Dynasty rankings, so if you're looking for 11 through 20, 21 through 30, we're going to be going through those rankings, and you'll see where I have Cam Akers, Cooper Kupp, and all these other players. Cooper Kupp, the biggest discussion is where is he going to lie in Dynasty? He was in the 40s, 50s last year, and now it's is it Cooper Kupp or Devontae Adams? Is it Cooper Kupp or Tyreek Hill? Is it Cooper Kupp or A.J. Brown? These are questions that are actually being had because Cooper Kupp has been shooting up the boards. And look at it, Triple Crown winner, and he just seems to be amazing in big games. I mean, look against the Tampa Bay defense. I mean, just ridiculous stats. And so if he can produce 80% of what he did last year, he can still win leagues. I mean, that is how great his stat line was with Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford has shown to really hone in on one player. Look at Megatron. Megatron, a completely different wide receiver than Cooper Kupp, but still, he is known for being a one-track mind. I mean, look at even Matthew Stafford and Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay, again, different wide receiver, but Cooper Kupp, his biggest attribute is being open. And if you're a route runner and you're open, that is why it's my number one trait that I love when it comes to wide receivers. If you have separation and you are open, then I love you as a wide receiver. On the other side of the ball, Tampa Bay, I still think Tom Brady's going to come back next year. Believe it as what you will. I think he's got another two to 3 years left in him. I can't see him ending like this big comeback. Now, if he would have came back and won the Super Bowl this year, I would have been like, maybe he is done. Maybe the back-to-back he is done, but I think he still has more to give for Tampa Bay. That's weird saying that no quarterback has ever been in the playoffs at 45 years old. Because he's 44. He'll be in the playoffs next year, unless there's injury. Leonard Fournette should have a starting gig. And I would, if I'm a Tampa Bay owner, if I'm a running back owner of that group, I am looking at potentially deep flyers in that Keyshawn Vaughn territory. Keyshawn Vaughn, if let's just say Bernard goes away, Fournette goes away, Vaughn is a huge, deep kind of player that, again, has draft capital, third-round draft capital status, and you never know what's going to happen with the Fournette group and stuff like that. Fournette, again, I still think Fournette looked good when he's been healthy, and that's just been the biggest key. He will be that top 20 RB if he's in Tampa Bay next year. Chris Godwin, again, we'll kind of go through the Chris Godwin, Mike Evans situations probably when we find out a little bit more clarity there. Chris Godwin, of course, on the franchise tag, he's done. Will he be franchise tagged? Will he not? It's going to be kind of up in the air with that. The biggest thing that we're going to be talking about is Gabriel Davis. Just 4 touchdowns, just ridiculous stat line. But you look at, he is a kind of 45 to 50 wide receiver, both his rookie year and this year. And so we have to look at a guy who's only had 5 catches. I think it was twice this year. It's a guy who I think has some of these big play upside. If Josh Allen, I wish Buffalo moved on. The only reason why I wish Buffalo moved on is because I want to see more Gabriel Davis. I want to see more of what that offense has. But Devin Singletary and Gabriel Davis are going to be the 2 biggest question marks because Devin Singletary, if he's the starting running back on September, whatever it is, the first day of the league year next year, he's going to be an intriguing name to being kind of this RB2 that might be cheaper. Like if you look at him versus Fournette or him versus Connor, let's say he resigns, you're going to probably get more production potentially out of Singletary or maybe even equal production unless he's going to be less I guess, valuable. It means you're just going to be able to pay a little bit less to get him. And for Gabriel Davis, I like Gabriel Davis. I really do like his talent. And honestly, I've seen people go for first, I think he's worth a high second. A high second right now, maybe a late first if I'm really desperate at the wide receiver position. But right now, it's like you have to look, the third-year breakout, maybe, but Josh Allen has also shown that he's willing to throw it to Knox, and Diggs had a horrible game. So you're looking at Diggs is gonna have better games, of course, and he's willing to throw it to Cole Beasley. And who knows if they draft a wide receiver? A lot of things can change, and so if you're giving up that kind of equity now, again, you're just trying high second, maybe a late first if you're really, really, really desperate at that wide receiver position. Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, Allen, I mean, there's nothing really to talk about there. So we have Bengals. Again, Bengals we'll probably be talking about next week because, I mean, really don't need to talk about it now. And then you have the Titans. Titans, this is a sell Henry time. Well, this is probably not a sell Henry time. Probably when it gets into the beginning of the year of next year is probably a sell Henry time. But again, Henry has been way down on my boards just because of his age and his usage over the last 3 years. And so you cannot keep producing like that. It just has not shown in the NFL history. Now, maybe he's a unicorn like Travis Kelce is, but I doubt it. He did have a late start to his career. Derrick Henry did. And he is a monster of a human being. I mean, if you look at the guy, 6'2", 250 pounds, looks like he's 6'5", 300 pounds when he's running over little cornerbacks and stiff-arming him to the ground. But I think this is a good time to know that he's got a 12-month window here. You have 12 months of production, potentially, and then it's probably going to be the huge downcliff. And maybe that foot injury gives him the downcliff now. He used to show a little bit more wiggle, but I guess you'll have to see if he only might have been 70% that game, 80%. They said 100%, but I doubt that he was 100%. It's a playoff game. You're like, I'm okay with re-injuring it for another 12 weeks. As a player, I think that would be the mindset. Hey, if they clear me, there's a chance of re-injury, but there's a chance that I can help my team win a Super Bowl on a 1 seed. I'm going to do that. Tannehill and AJ Brown's a monster. AJ Brown's a monster. It's why he's a top 15 dynasty overall player. Julio's over the hill, and Tannehill's just kind of this mid. He's the Derek Carr. He went from the super valuable high-end low-end QB1, and now he's just kind of melted into this QB2. He is melted into Derek Carr. That's what he is. And so you're going to get Derek Carr value probably out of him. And somebody talked to me. They were like, I had a buddy who was like, hey, is he a second-year player? I was like, he's like 32 years old. Like he's not he's not a second-year player. He was in Miami a long time ago. So again, that is the playoff reactions. 49ers. But the 49ers Packers, it'll be Rodgers and Adams situation is going to be crazy, unpredictable, one of the two. It's just, we don't know. We have no idea. And the 49ers, man, Debo, Kittle, and Elijah Mitchell. I might just have to keep moving up my boards because he looks great. And so does Debo. And so I don't know where you're going to have Debo in Dynasty. Comment what you're going to have Debo in Dynasty, but I might have him too low. I understand he's 26 years old, but he might be too low. All right, so this is Marcus Dynasty with Dads. Peace out. See you soon.